So I'm about to head off to the range, a little shooting, a little practicing. But before I jumped in the truck, I really got to thinking about the mindset of everyday carry versus concealed carry, and I thought, this is really applicable to what we're doing here. So I wanted to talk to you about it real quick. Are you still the individual that carries when you go to a bad, quote unquote, bad part of town, or when you're going out late at night or you think something might happen? Or are you an everyday carry that you've integrated into your life, and carrying a gun is just as essential as carrying your watch, wallet, and keys? And, I think that really differentiates between the two different types of people that are in our community, in the gun community. And I think it shows when we're doing our training. I think it shows in how much we train. And then I think it shows in why we train. Now, what I see a lot of guys doing is they'll go to their local gun range and they'll buy a box of 50 rounds or, even 100, and they'll pop a couple off, and then, they feel good about themselves and they're done. But in actuality, what have you trained on? What are you preparing your muscle memory for? Because when that fight actually occurs, standing still in that stall and shooting a paper target that's not moving it's not what's going to happen. It's not even applicable to a gunfight. It is merely going over the mechanics of gun handling, gun operation, but it doesn't in any way prepare you for a gun fight. And you understand why we're carrying a gun, because should someone pull a gun on us or our loved ones, then we're prepared to use that same amount of violence necessary that he's brought to the table to stop his violence. And that's a whole nother mindset between I have a gun and I've gone to the range and I shoot it. See, there's an air of comfort that comes with people who buy a gun and they say, well, I've got a gun. Well, where is it? Well, it's in my safe, or it's it's sitting somewhere for me to use at night, but they don't have it on them. I live in a relatively good neighborhood, and the restaurant right down the street is in a relatively good neighborhood. My range is in a great neighborhood. Or it's right outside of a great neighborhood. So, I guess I don't have anything to worry about, but I still have my gun on me. And it's because I don't know when something's going to happen, and I want to be prepared. Now, if you look at what we call a tiered level of response, you have to be able to be aware of and be able to react in a tiered level of response manner. So, if some guys, hey, Mister, you're at the you're at the local stop and rob gas station, and you're getting back into your car with your big 64-ounce drink. Unless you live in New York, then you don't have it. You've probably got an 8-ounce apple juice or something. But you've got your drink and you're getting back in the car, and some dude runs up to you, hey, can I have some money? Can I have some money? And what mindset are you in? Where's your line in the sand, so to speak? The old back in the Civil War type era, guys would say, they draw a line in the sand and say, hey, dude, if you cross that line, it's game on. We're about to duke it out. Well, you take that metaphor for a line in the sand of being my mental line that says, should he cross XYZ point, then now you're into an area where I feel threatened. And sure, it has a lot to do with his body posture and his mannerisms, but a lot of sociopaths are really, really nice people, and then they kill you. Okay, so look at like Ted Bundy and stuff. Those women never knew what his true intentions were. So they let his demeanor and his posture lure them into a state of not really caring about what's going to happen. They don't feel like anything's wrong with them, and then they become complacent, and then he overpowers them. So for me, I have a line in the sand that says, you cross that, then I'm going to verbally tell you, hey, stop what you're doing. Okay, and then I'm going into that warning. If you come any closer, I'm going to have to do something, whether that's call 911, or I'm going to have to leave, or I'm going to have to do something more dramatic. Okay, and then we have our hands. We can physically push someone off of us. We can stop them from what they're doing. But what if that's not enough? What if they've already anteed up and brought a weapon to the fight? What if they pull a knife out on you? What if they pull a gun out on you? If you don't have your gun, then you can't meet or you can't match forces with his gun with your gun because you didn't bring it. So being prepared, okay, and what the left would say is being paranoid, but being prepared is what everyday carry is all about. So in the military, we talk about we train as if we're going to fight. Because again, no one rises to the occasion. Okay, you can't expect to shoot 50 rounds every 4 months and be able to skin that smoke wagon out and start popping fools on the first shot and make accurate hits. It's not going to happen. I mean, I'm not saying there's not an air of luck involved, but in reality, it's probably not going to happen. You're probably going to have to get to the 4th or 5th shot and try to regain your composure. But if you're training for that event, then what training does is allow you to get first shot success.